when I was visiting my sister in London, and I went to this really cool studio that a lot of people had recommended to me called Mission.
Mm.
Mission does not advertise itself as a yoga studio, but I checked their classes on ClassPass, and I went with what I already knew, which was like a Vinyasa class. I went to Mission and I showed up on Fashion Street in Shoreditch in like East London. It's like super cool neighborhood, and I'm like walking down the road expecting to just see like one studio. But I arrive at Mission and I realize it's a like 3-story building that's huge. And I walk in and I'm so intrigued. I see a whole bunch of people in the reception area that don't necessarily look like yogis. I see some really like really buff guys, like really big guys, and then I see like the people that look more like traditional like yoga practitioners that are more like long and lean
Slender,
and
yeah.
slender. And I go up to my class, and it's on the second floor. And on the second floor, there are 2 rooms. There's the yoga room there's one room in which we were doing vinyasa, and the room on the other side of the hallway was a calisthenics pole class. And I looked inside, and there were a whole bunch of guys doing all these pull-ups or doing these like muscle ups or doing crazy stuff on the bar, and they were blasting like loud hip hop music. And I peered in through the window, and I was like, that looks super fun, and I kind of wish I could join that. But I went to my vinyasa class. That was also great. And after the class, went down into the sauna, which is kind of like this communal space that anyone who has attended a class can use. And I'm sitting in there with a bunch of people that were in my vinyasa class, and we're all just chatting about what we enjoyed about the sequence and blah blah blah. And then 15 minutes later, after the calisthenics class ends, all these huge guys like come into the same sauna, and we're all suddenly like packed like sardines because they're taking up obviously like a little bit more space. But what happened in that sauna, I think, really changed my brain chemistry, because all these people who attended Mission kind of knew each other, just maybe because they had attended some of the same classes together, or just seen each other like in the same space, and they had built some sort of friendship. And all these really big guys were asking us like, oh, what did Emmy do in class today? Oh, she did back bends. Like, I love her back bend classes, and I really need to get down there at some point. And I think it like just changed my perception of like
Cross-discipline.
what bodies of what like bodies that look a certain way should be doing. And it really like sparked this like joy, just being able to witness that curiosity. And people in my yoga class were asking them like, oh, what did you guys do in your pull class today? And they're like, oh, we did like 100 pull-ups, and we like did like all these like all the other activities. And everyone was just coming from it from a place of genuine like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I love that like you got to express like or explore this part of movement, or this type of movement that you really enjoy, and that you have a respect for like what I like, and that we can talk about it like in this space and have this like shared foundation of like movement knowledge that we can understand each other.
Mm.
And it was just like that was just a great moment for me, because I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And it like really drives home the whole idea of like exploration and community, because I think when you have those 2 concepts at like the heart of everything that you're trying to do, it just creates a lot of freedom
Mm.
to just to do a lot of things, instead of just being like, oh, I'm coming to the studio, I'm gonna do this class and then this class, and I'm just gonna like focus on this one thing, instead of thinking or asking the question like, what else is out there, or what else can I do with this foundation? And yeah, that was great. And that was another big aha